Hey guys, Steve here from the turtlefollower.com with your strategy session for Thursday, September 18th, 2014. First of all, I'd like to welcome all the new members that follow me on Twitter and some other social media networks. If this is the first time you're seeing one of these videos, essentially what we're going to do is go through the market real quick, the S&P 500 in particular, go through our positions that are currently on. Right now we have 10 positions on. We'll go through each one of those, see if we can raise or adjust stops in any way, and then we'll go through our weekly watch list to see if any new trades have triggered. So in about a 10-15 minute video, we'll go through all that stuff and we'll get you on your way. The other thing is, if you are following me on one of those networks, whether it be Twitter or StockTwits or YouTube or whatever it is, I recommend obviously going to the website, signing up for the nightly recap. And then what I'll do is I'll send out a nightly email with the video links in the email so you guys can get everything right at your inbox and don't have to worry about missing anything. So with that bit of housekeeping out of the way, let's get started. The S&P 500 was up, actually it was up about 7 or 8 points today. Now in the after hours session, it's up another 4. So you could see here we've talked about this downtrend channel that was in place. We've also talked about this consolidation that was in place, and right now if you look, we had the consolidation. It looked like we were coming down, but we were doing so in a very controlled manner. We talked about this coming into the 50-day moving average, coming into this previous resistance area, which now becomes support, and sure enough we were able to bounce off of that. And as you can see right now, we're at all-time closing highs here. All right, so S&P 500 looking like it's getting ready to move higher. If you look here at the top chart, which is the weekly chart, you can again see the trend line's been in place for the better part of a year and a half. Sure enough, we came right into that trend line, bounced off of that trend line, and are now moving higher. So the high here at 2010 is the high for the year. Also the all-time closing high. So what we do here is we look at the market for the reason of just trying to gauge where our trades are going, make sure we're on the right side of the trend. We don't use the market to enter or exit positions. We just merely use it as another indicator. So in looking at today's action, I would say that higher prices are ahead of us. You could look here at the NASDAQ as well, if my chart wants to load. And again, sure enough, we had the consolidation. We broke down out of that consolidation, came right into trend line support, and bounced off of it. So again, NASDAQ is confirming. And the last one, the Dow, is actually in the lead. Okay, we talked about 3 or 4 weeks ago, the Dow being the laggard, and now, of course, it is the leader. Again, same type of setup as the S&P. Sideways consolidation, broke down in a very controlled channel, and tested the 50-day moving average, and sure enough bounced off of that and is now sitting at all-time highs and 52-week highs, closing highs, whatever you want to call it. We're there. So 17,229 is the current price of the Dow, up 51 points. So there must be something going on after hours that I'm unaware of. Usually the futures aren't up this much after hours, but usually when they are up this much, Friday tends to be a little bit of a sell the news type of day. So whatever is causing them to move higher today, I wouldn't expect it necessarily to carry through. All right, so let's take a look at our positions. Apple up 0.21%, still in the middle of this consolidation range. Right now our stop is 97.90. So hopefully we can get Apple to break out over this 103 level. That would definitely confirm this as a new low. But for right now, I think if we broke this 97.90 level, we would be breaking trendline support, 50-day moving average, and that would be enough to exit the trade. ADM, this one again just continues to move higher. You can see we're getting close to moving that stop up to the 49.12. And if you guys are new, essentially what we do is we wait for the 50-day moving average and trend line to be above a certain stock price, and we then will trail the stop. So for right now, the 50-day moving average is still under 49.12, 49.12 being the closing lows from August 21st and 23rd. So we are going to continue to use this 48.16, but should be able to shortly, or will be able to shortly, move our stop to this 49 level. Probably actually over the weekend we'll probably be doing that. AMT, this is one I tweeted out today. The type of bounce it's having, it doesn't look like it's very convincing. We came right back into the middle of this larger down bar here. So if we do get a weekday, I would not be surprised to see this roll over and eventually break that 94.20 level. So this one looks like one that potentially we get stopped out on, but as of right now, it's holding its support level at 94.20. Disney up a little bit. That one just continues to consolidate. What we've been talking about with this one is as it consolidates, the 50-day and the trend line support come more into play. Okay, so as this consolidates, the 50-day moving averages move higher, and eventually that hopefully will provide another nice bounce point for a breakout over 91 and an eventual test of the $100 level. For right now, stop is 87.30, which is the top of this previous consolidation. That was the basis of us getting long this stock. So I think the next level would be potentially 88.70, or if we did get that breakout and the 50-day was high enough, we could use that 89.50 level. Expedia up 0.66%. This one's just testing that 50-day. Let's see what happens. You can see here a very well-defined downtrend line. Okay, so let's see if we can break that line in the next day or so. Right now, 82.55 is our stop. If we can break that downtrend line and eventually break this 88.40, I think we'll be using something in the 84 range as our new stop. Fidelity, again, this one came down. Not too much of a bounce off the 50, so let's see how this reacts. Again, this could be another one that potentially rolls itself over and gets us stopped out at this 56.50 level. GD up 0.81. Okay, so you can see here what's happening is we're potentially waiting to use this 121.37 level. We're waiting for that 50-day moving average to catch up. The stock is really not giving us much of a pullback since we've entered. So we'll be using probably that 121.37, and then shortly thereafter, we're going to probably move to 122.64. And again, if for all the new guys, just so you have a concept of what we're doing here, there are no price targets. There are only breakouts and trailing stops. That's the only thing we really trade off of. We let price confirm our stop levels, so meaning that as we pull back and we put in a low, that potentially becomes a stop level once the 50-day moving average trades above that, and we'll continue to trail stops as long as we can until we get stopped out of our trade. That lets our winners run and we cut our losers short, which is the name of the game here. You know, you want the winners to pay for all the little losers and then some. So there's no predicting here. It's just simple price action. H&R Block up 0.16. Again, this one is consolidating in this range here. If we got a weekday, I would not be surprised to see this reverse out of this range and close below that 31.97, therefore taking us out of the trade. LUV up 0.23%. I've said it before. I really don't know what to say with this one. This one has been on a tear since we entered. I wish we owned call options on it because we would be making a hell of a profit right now. But the fact is, our next stop level is not up here and up until this 31.71 level. So as of right now, we're using 29.38. I do not see another area where we've seen consolidation or price action confirm any type of support. So right now, 29.38 is our stop. Potential next level, 31.71. Of course, waiting for that 50-day moving average to trade above that level. And the last one, RSG, moving sideways, similar to Disney. I think this is waiting for that 50-day and trend line to come into play. You could see here on the weekly chart, very tight consolidation off that trend line. So I think that potentially, sets us up for another trade over 39.50. All right, so on to our watch list stocks. LRCX, this one triggered for us on, what's today? Thursday. This one triggered on Tuesday. Okay, with this breakout here, we had identified it over the weekend update as a break over 72.30. being the trigger point. Sure enough, we got that, and it has exceeded our expectations in the first 3 days. We are actually not long this stock, only because we don't have any. If you look at the model portfolio, we're using 50% margin. That's really all I would like to use. That margin that is allotted to us. So we haven't been taking trades. I've still been identifying trades for anyone who is following along. That is, it does have some availability in our portfolio, but this was one that we did identify and did not take. So, shame on us type of thing. But if you guys have it, good for you. WDC bouncing off the support area. Okay, you could see this consolidation here in the gray box. Came back into this 97 level. This one was looking a lot better, but you could see here on the weekly chart, again, what's happening is it's pulling back right into weekly support. So let's see if we can get a breakout over that 103 level for WDC. MS was another one we identified last week. Or actually, not last week. On this was Monday. So what we talked about with MS was you could take the trade with this breakout here on the 15th and set your stop below, say, 33.81. I was considering that to be an aggressive trade only for the reason that you were still putting your stop above the 50-day moving average, which is not something I liked. At that point, BK was also breaking out. Okay, here is Monday, so right in here. And I said I like this trade a little bit better because what was happening was we had the breakout and we also were able to set a stop where we had an obvious break of support levels at the trend line and the 50-day moving average, and our stop was below both of those levels. So either one, if you took either one, that's good. Again, we haven't taken any trades. We did exit 3 on Monday, so basically brought our portfolio back into balance just to moving forward. MMM, this is one broke out today. And again, you can see what we're essentially looking for here. We're looking for those breakouts. Right now, breakout, you could enter tomorrow's open. And depending on how aggressive you are, you could put your stop here at 143. Or you could put your stop down here at 139. Either would be viable because we essentially are looking for an 8% stop maximum. So 8 to 10%. I won't really go over 10 because then our position size gets too small to make it worth the risk that we're taking on. But again, good trade there in 3M. RHI up 1%. You could see how it came back into that trend line and now bouncing higher. Still waiting for a breakout over 51.30. HD, this was one that we've talked about for the last few weeks. Basically not setting up a trade yet, but what I've talked about with the viewers is we have this nice weekly consolidation here, basically from May to I guess August of this year. We finally got that breakout. We got a small pullback. So what I'm waiting for now is for Home Depot to essentially consolidate, allow that 50-day moving average to move higher, and then we're waiting for the secondary breakout over 93.40 if this proves to be this consolidation that we're waiting for, and then we'll be able to set a stop here at, say, 88. That gives us a lot better of a position size. Okay, stop is nice and tight, and it also confirms that we are in fact in the early stages of a nice weekly breakout. EMC up 0.92 is just really moving sideways within its range. ABT, we talked about yesterday, having a breakout. Okay, today it confirmed and moved a little higher. If anybody entered at this morning's open, you're already up on the trade, and you could see here on the weekly chart coming right into that weekly trend line, bouncing higher. So here I would have your stop down here around 41.50. Intel up 0.54%, getting close to breaking out, not yet. CenturyLink, again, coming right in off of that support of the trend line and the 50-day moving average, waiting for that breakout over 41.50. DPS continues to just move sideways, allowing that 50-day and trend line to catch up, waiting for a breakout over 63.50. Estee Lauder, middle of the range, nothing to do on that one. MJN broke out on Monday. We were on that one. And we said if you were going to get long, you could either put your stop here at this 93 level, or more conservative and most likely where I would have it would be around the 91.50. I'd like to see a major breakdown and not just a pullback to the bottom of the consolidation. So that's usually how I trade them. I like to, especially in initial stops, I like to give it a little bit wider. I like to be in the stock because our time frame is months. It could be, multiple months. It could be 1 month, but it's not hours and it's not days. So we like to give them a little bit of room in the beginning, let them kind of get working a little bit, and then we manage our stops higher. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, Google+, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. As I said this morning, you can also subscribe to the nightly recap on the website and get all the remaining videos sent to you for all the new stuff. So have a great rest of the night. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you over the weekend for the weekend update. Take care, guys.